feel my brain getting hydrated. I just feel the hydration. It's a really weird sensation. My energy levels were improved. And I thought I was really healthy before. So, I don't know, this has all happened to me in that time. So, and from a pure physiological viewpoint, I think that everything he's going to tell you tonight is pretty solid. I'm going to tell you very, very solid stuff. And I had a long time to talk to him this afternoon, and I can tell you now, this man's going to get some information you're not going to get anywhere else in the world.
I heard that something was happening to your hair as well.
Yeah, my hair. My office girls, my receptionist started to notice my hair was changing colour. they said, one of them just said to me, they said, my hair's changing a bit colour, And I don't know if it's true or not. Then I mentioned it to a few people, and a couple of other people said, I think your hair's changing colour. And I think my hair has gone a little darker. It's not as grey. I used to have really silver grey hair like Malcolm, but mine's gone a little darker. But I don't know that that's true or not. I'm just not sure. All these other things I mentioned, though, are real. And you could say, well, it's all placebo effect, but there's a... I don't know. I mean, the one thing that's definitely, I had a seborrheic keratosis on my forehead for about 4 years. And I've been trying to pick it off for 4 years, it just kept growing. And pick it up, grow, pick it up, grow. It's just stripped off, it's just gone. And I don't know why. It's just gone. I don't have this seborrheic keratosis anymore. That can't be placebo effect. There's got to be something going on. And I've only been drinking this for 5 weeks. So Sam's been drinking it for how many years?
17 years.
No, I haven't given up the wine. I only drink Italian wine. I won't drink Australian wine. How many years have you been drinking?
17 years.
17 years. So there you go. But he knows a lot more. I know very little bit, but I'm very impressed with him this afternoon. And I'll introduce Sang Whang.
Thank you, Jerry. I am 72 years old. Started drinking water when I was 55. I'm from Korea. Went to United States 1951 at the age of 20. I'm an engineer, scientist, inventor. I'm not a doctor. And I'm not a biologist. 17 years ago, when I was suffering high blood pressure, 55 years old is generally the beginning of the adult degenerative diseases. Jerry will tell you that. That's the kind of patients that he sees. Right at the beginning of the adult degenerative diseases. I was suffering high blood pressure, tendency of diabetes, my ears ring, and if I opened my mouth too big, I couldn't close it. And I had dark spots on my legs, poor blood circulation. That was the day that somebody introduced me a water ionizer. It is not quite modern like what you are seeing. It was like a fish tank, 2 chambers with a membrane in between. And one side has a negative electrode, the other side has a positive electrode. You put gallon each and turn the water on. In 20 minutes, one side becomes alkaline water, the other side becomes acid water. And I was told, just drink alkaline water. The person who introduced me that machine is a registered nurse. And she says she doesn't know why, but many people, their blood pressure went down walking. That was the primary reason why I bought that machine. And I didn't like the idea of you have to take this blood pressure pill for the rest of your life. It's not really a pleasant thought, especially knowing they all have side effects. Well, I drank that water religiously, 5 times a day. 10-ounce water. In the morning, before meals, and in the evening. Surprising things happened. 2 weeks later, my blood pressure was getting quite low. So I reduced my blood pressure pill to half. 2 more weeks later, to quarter. And 2 more weeks, total 6 weeks, I cut my blood pressure pill. It was miraculous to me. I was very happy in the beginning. Then I began to worry, because I remember the doctor told me, if you stop taking this pill just because you're feeling better, one of these days blood pressure will shoot way up and you may be carried into emergency room. That's, to me that was a scare tactic. But anyway, I wanted to know when this pressure may go up. So I was measuring my blood pressure in the morning and the evening, every day. And I said to myself, I can't live like this. And furthermore, I thought, could be psychological, and it could be short-term phenomenon, or it could do some long-term side effect damage. When you don't know why, as a scientist, all kinds of thoughts come through your mind. I said, I gotta start, find out why did my blood pressure go down. Most of the literature available was from Korea and from Japan. This is where they developed this machine, alkaline water machine. Fortunately, I read Korean and Japanese and read the paper. Then I read the macrobiotic diet paper. Anything to do with the acid and alkaline, I gotta grab hold of it and try to find out why did my blood pressure go down. The result of my research is never mind my blood pressure. That's nothing. I discovered actually how people get old. Why we get old. And the real good news was you can reverse it. When you really find out how people get old, then you can reverse it. That's when I wrote my book, Reverse Aging. So the first thing I studied was what is food? We have to eat food to live. But it's the food that creates waste product. After it burns with oxygen, giving us the energy, after that is a waste product. And they're all acidic. So I started going to the elements of the food, and interesting discovery is 98% of our food is carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. Nitrogen is in the protein, and the rest of them are in carbohydrate and the fat and fiber. They all produce energy after you burn it with oxygen, and they all produce acidic waste products. And the remaining 2% is inorganic mineral, alkaline minerals, acid minerals. People talk about this as alkaline food or acid food. We're talking about the 2%. The 98% all produces acidic waste. There is no alkaline food or any food that does not create acidic waste. Because of 98% is. Carbon creates carbonic acid, cholesterol, fatty acid. Those are the acid waste from the carbon. Nitrogen gives uric acid and the nitric oxide and ammonia. And the body tries its best to get rid of the waste. Because these leftovers don't belong to our body. It doesn't do anything. First channel is urine. Most of our waste product, I'm talking about waste product created in the cells. That's why I'm not addressing the feces. Just the waste product that's created in the cell. Biggest exhaust system is urine. You know urine is acid. And ammonia, all those things come from. Perspiration. We sweat out the acid. It's a good thing that we sweat the acid out, because for that our skin is acid. And skin acid kills 95% of the bacteria. Virus and bacteria, when it comes to contact with your skin, it gets killed. Even the AIDS virus is killed by skin acid. That's the reason why you cannot catch AIDS through skin contact. But before you get, the skin kills it. That's one way that God designed the human body to protect us. As an engineer, one of the most amazing things is how the kind of engineering went in designing human body. As an engineer, I was amazed at how this machine body is such a survival machine. And the third method is breathing carbon dioxide out. This is the front line of the deacidification process. Blood must be very slightly alkaline and maintain very narrow range of a pH. Anything goes wrong, first thing that the lungs do is they remove carbon dioxide out. So the carbonic acid becomes H2O to neutralize that. These are the three primary channels where cell-created acidic waste gets out of our body. Our body tries its best to get rid of all these acids. Unfortunately, we cannot get rid of 100%. There is some leftovers. What do you do with that leftovers if you can't get rid of it? You have to store someplace in your body. The form of the waste product we store in our body is they are stored in solid form, not in the liquid form. If they remained in the liquid form, it would lower your body pH too low and you'll be dead. Your body fluid and the blood fluid has to be slightly alkaline. But you keep producing acidic waste, so body is clever. Again, it's a survival mechanism, converts liquid acid to solid acid. When it comes out of a cell, it is liquid. But by the time we store it, it is in a solid form. Cholesterol, fatty acid. These are, if you look at the chemical formula for cholesterol and fatty acid, it describes in my book. I went through and wrote down all the chemical formula for that. They are incompletely burnt carbohydrate. If you eat carbohydrate, that is rice, noodle, bread, pasta, and don't exercise. That means you don't burn it completely. They become cholesterol, fatty acid, lactic acid. Incompletely burnt means you can burn some more. So that when you don't have any food coming in, you pull that out and burn and get some more energy out. That's the main purpose. These days, we don't have that kind of opportunity to burn more, unless you're going into fasting. Then, kind of food that we eat, like eggs, has sulfur in it. You know, the egg yolk, they say it's a rotten egg smell. That's the sulfur smell. Or rice and Coca-Cola has phosphorus in it. As I said, the nitrogen is in protein. They create nitric oxide, uric acid, sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid. These are poisonous acids. If you let it alone, it damages your body. So they look for calcium, anything alkaline mineral, anything to neutralize that. If you don't have enough alkaline mineral in your diet, they rob calcium out of your skeleton. That's what this osteoporosis is all about. They come out and combine with this poisonous acid, becomes uric acid, becomes urate. Phosphoric acid becomes phosphate. It means phosphoric acid plus calcium. Sulfuric acid plus calcium is sulfate. These, unfortunately, calcium is a solidifying, precipitating mineral. So when it combines with the calcium, it becomes a solid. Kidney stone. is the combination of phosphoric acid and uric acid. When they combine, they form kidney stones. Some people thought that kidney stone is caused by too much calcium. It's true, there is a calcium in there, but calcium is not the cause of it. The acid is the cause of it. In order to save our lives, our body grabs the calcium to put it in there. It's not an alkaline crystal, it is an acid crystal. The proof is, if it were alkaline crystal, it will dissolve in urine, which is acid. Because it's an acid crystal, it doesn't dissolve in. And that's why it gives you pain. The plaques are those urates and phosphates plus cholesterol. They get mixed together and cause nice plaques. Uric acid. Uric acid is, the cause for gout. Uric acid, if it's formed in an area where calcium can get there easily, it becomes urate. But if it's formed in a joint in your foot where calcium doesn't have any chance to get there, before calcium gets there, it crystallizes itself. So uric acid is a shiny, just like a glass. If they go in between your joint, you have pain. That is, everybody who had experience with gout will tell you. And the acid is nothing wrong unless acid coagulates the blood and causing our blood circulation to go bad. This is a major problem of our aging. Blood circulation gets poor. The fact that acid coagulates the blood is really a life-saving properties of blood. When you have a cut, blood comes out, meets oxygen in the atmosphere, forms a strong acid. Then it forms a scab. Because of this property, solidifies it, stops bleeding. This is how God designed our body, saving from bleeding to death when you have a cut. But because of the life-saving property, as you start to accumulate acid in your body, blood gets thick, blood circulation gets poor, then all kinds of disease takes place, depending upon where you store that acidic waste. Everybody stores different favorite places. If you accumulate near your pancreas, now this is a lot of men generally start to build up here. The woman a little below. That's what causes blood circulation around the pancreas gets poor. If you don't have enough blood circulation, the pancreas cannot create enough insulin. Then you have diabetes. All the different diseases, how acid affects that, creates that, it's in my book. The heart diseases. When you start to have plaques and the debris formed in the blood, coming out of artery, bodies are afraid that they're floating around, they can clog up some critical capillaries leading to important part of the brain. So they try to paste on your artery coming out to save you. Little by little, the pasting function increases and you have a clogged artery. Bypass operations. And cancer cells are acidic, while healthy cells are alkaline. I don't know all the mechanism of cancer cells, but I do know cancer cells are acidic. And stroke, high blood pressure, if it becomes too much acid, oxygen content of the blood gets low. If oxygen content gets low, heart must pump stronger, more, to supply necessary oxygen. Diabetes, I already explained. Acid reflux, kidney problems, osteoporosis, gout. These are the beginnings of all the adult degenerative diseases as you accumulate acid. So what I discovered is Aging is nothing but the result of acid accumulation. So scientifically, mathematically speaking, plus acid is aging, the minus acid is reverse age. I'm a scientist, I just applied my formula, plus. So reduction of acid is to stay young and healthy, which I call the reversing. When I discovered this, I found out why my drinking alkaline water lowered my blood pressure, not just blood pressure, so many other things in my body. I was really happy. Why didn't we know this kind of simple facts until the end of the 20th century? That was my biggest question in those days. It's so simple once you understand it. Then the goal is to reduce acid. Now, how do we reduce acid? There's a hard and the less effective way, and the easy and the more effective way. When we think of health, we think of a diet. Something wrong with the diet. Exercise. Liposuction. Trying to get the acid out of your body. Diet is the most difficult subject. How difficult? There are many experts in diet. They don't agree with each other. In the U.S., Department of Agriculture conducted a debate on ABC television network. They called all the diet experts. Dr. Atkins was there. He was still alive then. And the surgeons were there. The vegetarian diet people were there. All kinds of doctors were there. They couldn't agree what is the best diet. They agreed on two things. One, most Americans are overweight. That was agreement number one. Second agreement is agree to disagree. The problem is they all had their own personal experience of their diet improving some people's health. Therefore, they could not change their mind. They could not see the overall picture of what's going on. They were just concentrating on what they were seeing. After I saw that TV program, I remember the story, Elephant and the Six Blind Men. I don't know whether you have heard of the Elephant and the Six Blind Men. And the little country town, the circus came in, and they never saw elephant before. And when they saw elephant became talk of town. Everybody talked about elephant. The blind men said, we gotta go and see. I don't know what they're talking about. So they were led to see the elephant, six blind men. After they saw the elephant, they tried to discuss about their experience and to see what an elephant is. Somebody said, elephant is a concrete column. You can see where he touched concrete walls. No, elephant is a floppy sheet. No, it was a flexible hose. No hard substance, or shaped like a whips. Everybody had a personal experience, therefore they could not change their mind. They couldn't agree what elephant was. The important thing is you have to let go of your personal experience and trying to see the bigger picture, the overall picture. Diet has a major risk, element of risk. That is, you can create nutritional deficiency. I felt like a nutritional deficiency means in some Africa where they don't have anything to eat, something like that. No, this is happening in an affluent society, especially among the health conscious people. They have certain personal experiences, and if you follow all these diet experts' advices and don't eat anything that they say don't eat, you'll starve to death. And the nutritional deficiency, there is no medicine for that. You have to eat. And somebody says, I have a food supplement. I don't know how they come to that conclusion, but food supplement, one formula fits all. I don't believe that. I don't know what you are eating, what you are not eating. How can I come up with one formula fits all food supplements? The risk is nutritional deficiency. Exercise is another very hard discipline to go through. I don't know how in Australia, in America, when they say exercise is push to the limit. No pain, no gain. Weight lift. They take certain risk. First of all, when you over-exercise like that, you create lactic acid. Much more acidic problem. I know a friend of mine loved to dance. About 30 minutes into dancing, she has to stop because exercise induced asthma. The lactic acid causes asthma, and she has to stop dancing. And if your blood vessels have a lot of plaques and debris floating around, during exercise, your blood pressure is extremely high. So high that your blood pressure measuring device cannot read. That's why nobody measures blood pressure during exercise. You have to relax, then measure blood pressure, because they have limited ranges. So during exercise, blood pressure could be very high, and if you have this floating debris in your blood vessels, they could go in and clog up capillary, leading to critical part of your brain. Then you have a stroke. You hear a lot of cases of stroke during exercise. It's caused because of that. That's the risk. Lactic acid. I won't buy the risk for liposuction. Easy and the more effective way is the Japanese way. 50 years ago, Japanese invented this water ionizer. Their patent ran out, and that's why now everybody's making the water ionizers. Electrically splitting water, alkaline and acid water. Japanese is the longest living. I'm not saying that this is the only reason why they live long. See, after the World War II, everybody else is spending their money. The Japanese are making a lot of money with the Toyotas and the Panasonics, and they were not allowed to spend any money for military. So all that money went into health research. If you look at macrobiotic diet, and magnetic devices, and alkaline devices, they all come from Japan. That's why, because they have been doing this. Japanese way is drinking alkaline water. Because that's how I reversed my high blood pressure. And my goal was, why did drinking alkaline water help me? And I found out that it's simple, because acid caused my high blood pressure. Therefore, alkaline water neutralizes acid.
The Japanese have it municipally? Do they have it in towns, or is it always on home use?
It's always on home use. The reason is this. Amount of water that we consume is a very small part of the water that I get from the municipal. I would be first to object if a government uses my tax money to alkalize all the water so that people wash a car with it and take a bath with it with alkaline water. That's a waste. I would not go for that. It's individual responsibility. So the question is, how do we make alkaline water? Water ionizer, that's what you're familiar with. Ion cells here, and Japanese, now Koreans make it, now I understand even Chinese make the water ionizer. Then, what I figured out was, I was drinking 10-ounce glass of water, pH 10, 5 times a day. So one of those days, I calculated how many H2O is in that 10-ounce glass of water. I had a lucky break. Calculation shows 1 with 25 zeros afterwards. If you can count that kind of number, that's the approximate number of H2O molecule in 10-ounce glass of water. If a pH is a 10, then number of OH minus ion in that water is 1 with 21 zeros. It's about 1/10,000th. That's pH 10 water. People talk about, my machine makes microstructured alkaline water and the surface tension is high, or oxygen reduction potential, or P is greater. But that's not important thing. What I found out is it's number of OH minus ion going into your body. Once it goes in there, equal number of H plus ion will be neutralized. That many number. And H plus and OH minus ion, when they meet, they become H2O. That's what we mean by neutralizing the acid. Could I get tap water about halfway full?
Tap water?
Tap water. Don't ionize it. Just give me plain tap water. I noticed that at Brisbane and here, tap water has a pH around 8. Blue color. I'm going to put only 1 drop because this is not quite 10 ounces, okay? Just 1 drop. Purple color. Now I'm going to play some trick here. You see, carbon dioxide is acid. This body throws it out, right? I'm going to blow my carbon dioxide into this water and change this alkaline water into acid water. Would you believe that? See, carbon dioxide is what we throw out, expel from our body, because it's a waste product. When you drink a Coca-Cola or any soft drink, you're drinking your own body excrete. So one day at the trade show, I told the people, drinking Coca-Cola is like drinking your own urine. And somebody said, but if it tastes like a Coca-Cola, well, everybody cracked up. I tried to demonstrate this to the high school students, not to drink soft drinks.
But then somehow, some people drink their urine, and something is supposed to have some property.
That's what they say. I wouldn't drink, even if it tastes like a Coca-Cola. When I first wrote Reverse Aging, I do most of the sales of my lecture as well as everything else through my books. I wrote the book 1990, no publisher will publish. So I had to publish myself. So I read the self-publishing manual of the book. They say, don't you ever publish your own book with your own name. People don't buy. Make up any fictitious name, publishing company, and you use that. So I picked JSP Publishing, if you look at it. Where does the JSP come from? My 3 kids' initials, Jeannie, Stephen, Peter. And looked around for print shop. About 60 miles away from my house, there was a reasonable print shop. And the guy says, you have to print at least 1,000 copies to make it worthwhile, so that the reasonable price for each copy. So I printed 1,000 copies. I brought back 1,000 copies, put it in the garage, and looked at it and said, what am I going to do with this? I sent some letters out to my friends. I sold about 20 copies. Then the ball started rolling. They read it. Of course, these friends who bought it, they read it. They bought some more to give their friends, and they recommended strictly by word of mouth. Now it's over 80,000 copies in circulation. what's more gratifying to me is some people, after they read my book, called me up and says, I would like to translate this into my own language so that my countrymen can also have this information. So with the volunteer translations, I can't afford to pay them for this translation. With the volunteer translations, I have now books in Polish, Chinese, Spanish, Japanese, Korean is in final editing stage, and the German translation just finished. Before I came to Australia, I got the news that he finished translating into German. To me, sharing this information to the world is like a passion to me. That's why I came here.
Do you know, is there anywhere in nature where you can find alkaline water?
There are some natural alkaline dug up, but they also are usually silica based. They are not necessarily the alkaline mineral based. Therefore, the initial pH effect is there, but long term the benefit of alkaline mineral in your body isn't there. The coral calcium has, if you add that into water, it gives you alkaline water too. Coral calcium, coral calcium. Okinawa, near the Okinawa, they dig the coral calcium and you put that in water, water becomes alkaline. The concern with the coral calcium is they have all kinds of other heavy metals in the natural coral calcium. We don't know the long-term effect of that yet. And
what about baking soda?
Baking soda is a base, but if you drink baking soda, adding alkaline mineral to water to make water alkaline is nothing new. But it's the selection of minerals and the ratio of the minerals is critical. If you take baking soda, you will get alkaline effect, but in the long range, you will be increasing sodium contents in your body without potassium contents. That's the reason why we don't recommend. Alkaline water made by the water ionizer. Water ionizer does not put any minerals in. Whatever comes with the water company electrically splits into alkaline side and the acid side. The alkaline side is predominantly calcium based. Now I have an academic paper, the University of San Francisco, California, has published a paper that human bodies genetically from eons ago was made to eat more potassium and less sodium. Then now we're all eating more sodium and less potassium. That's the reason why we age. This is Professor Linda Frassetto's recent paper. I brought a copy and gave it to him, so if anybody really wants it, ask him to make a copy. In our body, we accumulate acid waste. Some of them are, for instance, if you have the sulfuric acid. Now that's too poisonous. So they grab calcium or make it sulfate. But it's a solid. It builds up in the body. Uric acid, phosphoric acid, urate and phosphate combined, it becomes kidney stones. All those stones that we accumulate in our body is something to do with the calcium. If I want to take the calcium out and give it back to the bone and combine with another mineral, calcium cannot kick calcium out, but sodium or potassium can kick calcium out. You know, the water softener is a water with too much calcium. They use a salt, sodium salt, to kick calcium out. The same principle in terms of reduction of kidney stones and the solidified acid crystals, acid salts. Potassium works better than calcium. Calcium cannot kick calcium out. So kidney stones, several other effects we are finding. Alkaline water is better than the ionized. Some people ask, do you use ionizers? Yes, I use ionizers. I have an ionizer. As a matter of fact, we have 3. at home and the office, and we have two at home. I get the alkaline water without any acid mineral when I use ionizers, because acid mineral went the other side. When I add Alkaline, I do not remove any acid mineral, I just add more alkaline. And the pH is the same. As long as the pH is the same, number of hydroxyl ion is still the same, doesn't seem to matter. But I add then alkaline to that in ionized water, so that I have acid-free alkaline water with 4 minerals: potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium. And I have the stronger mineral as well. This is to maintain the balance. We are finding out that if you use Alkaline, because it releases calcium out of these waste products that you have more calcium than magnesium. Just like the potassium and sodium has to maintain certain ratio, the calcium and the magnesium should maintain certain ratio. So we're finding some people having to take some supplement of magnesium because we have too much calcium versus magnesium. These are still ongoing research. But the biggest question is, hey, you say you drink alkaline water is good for you, but your stomach is acid. So when you drink alkaline water, your stomach is going to neutralize that alkaline water. Your body doesn't see any benefit of alkalinity. That has been the biggest concern when I first came up with this. Here is the answer to the question. Alkaline water and the stomach acid. As a matter of fact, if you go into my website and see article number 3 that talks about this. When we drink alkaline water, stomach neutralizes that. The total stomach pH goes up. Stomach pH usually is 4.5. Alkaline we're drinking is pH 10. When they mix, stomach pH, resultant pH is too high. That forces the stomach to make more hydrochloric acid. Stomach is not happy unless pH is 4.5. Maybe time-delayed reactions, but still they wind up producing hydrochloric acid to bring it down to pH 4.5. How do they make hydrochloric acid? So the people who know this are not MDs. MDs do not study this. Pathologists do. Pathology 101 teaches this. How stomach makes hydrochloric acid. In our human cell, H2O, water is there, CO2, carbon dioxide is there, NaCl, this is salt. Inside the cell is more potassium. The potassium and sodium, they behave very similar, but the potassium goes inside the cell and the sodium goes exterior to the cells. And that balance is very important to control the pumping effect of the cell. Nutrients go in and the waste products come out. All these functions, they are controlled by the potassium and the sodium pump effect. As a matter of fact, last year's Nobel Peace Prize was specifically for this, the pumping effect of the cells. 1H from H2O, Cl from NaCl, this could be KCl, potassium chloride, doesn't matter, becomes HCl. The leftover is NaHCO3, 3 O's. That's sodium bicarbonate, or could be potassium bicarbonate. This goes into the stomach. This is the alkaline buffer that goes into the bloodstream as a result of the fact that you drank alkaline water. The more alkaline water you drink, the more hydrochloric acid has to be produced, and the more alkaline buffer goes into your bloodstream. So the stomach goes back to acid, but your blood gained alkaline buffer. pathologists know that, but most MDs, they are not taught this subject in their classes.
Can there be excess alkalinity in the blood?
The happy news is, if you drink too much alkaline water, your urine gets alkaline. In other words, the body dumps it. They don't know where to store it. Now, if an alkaline mineral were sent in with the food, alkaline food that is, until they go into the cell and metabolized, they do not show alkaline effect. So, not knowing that you could overdose alkalinity into the cell, but in the bloodstream, if it gets too much alkaline, kidney dumps it. As a proof, your urine becomes alkaline. Now, urine should be acid, because we dump acid. We also found another side effect. So when you do that, if you have a kidney infection, the bacteria for the kidney infection, they are the one that loves acidic environment. That's why they don't die and they survive. But they cannot survive in alkaline environment. When you flush your kidney with too much alkaline and urine becomes alkaline, you kill kidney infection bacteria. That's happy side effects.
As the blood is properly from receiving the blood circulation as it passes through, does it get into the lymphatic system as well?
Pardon?
Does it get into the alkaline, the blood system? After the
it goes into the blood system.
The lymph system benefit from it as well?
When you have alkalinity in the blood, that blood travels all throughout your body. Yeah. Therefore, exactly what mechanism it goes to the lymph system, I don't know. But you are getting benefit of alkalinity. When it's too much, kidney dumps it. So, alkaline water is not destroyed by stomach acid. This is our biggest objection some people have. Some people say alkaline water, you drink alkaline water, doesn't do anything because your stomach is acid.
The water, does it once it travels down through the small intestine? Any excess water? Do we lose water through the bowel? Because the lower part of the bowel should be acidic. Is there any effect of overflow to alkaline through into the bowel?
The body controls its own mechanism, what part of the body should be alkaline, what part of the body should be acid. Like a stomach has to be pH 4.5. The pancreas has to be pH of 8.5. All these things are automatic mechanism that body controls. The as needed basis, whatever it is. Gradually our function decreases because we have built up of acid so that we do not have blood circulation properly. See, the best definition of health is ease of flow. When things flow easy, then you have good health. When things do not flow easy, then there is some place gets clogged up. You need a pipe plumber to clean that up. The alkaline water neutralizes acid. There are several reasons why ease of flow is not there. Main one is acid. Acid coagulates blood. So another one is closed-mindedness. That also. And sitting on the airplane too long also prevents. Or the cold temperature also slows down the flow. What is pain? Pain is a concentration of acid someplace. So that suppose when you pull the muscle in the back, bang, adrenaline burnt a lot of calories, there is a sudden buildup of acidic waste pool. All the capillaries around that gets clogged up because acid. It's a high temperature when you first burn it. At high temperature, all the capillaries got clogged up. Then, because clogged up, blood cannot go in, blood circulation is blocked, the temperature starts to go down. If you take a thermograph of body, and the painful area always comes out to be lower temperature than the rest of the body. And in order to reinstate the flow, you have to deep heat that area. For that, I don't have time, but the far infrared heater happens to be right frequency to heat water, and it goes in deep. We have a far infrared heating pad designed for pain relief. When it heats that area, clogged up capillary heat expansion takes place. Then that spot is hotter than the rest of the body. Therefore, body doesn't like that. So blood goes in and out to try to even the temperature. In doing so, they bring the toxins out. That's how they relieve pain. That is, if you happen to build up acidic waste where nerve ending is, so that you feel the pain. If you happen to build that up where there is no nerve endings, you don't know. You know, we have so many parts in our body where there is no nerve endings. People walk around with the surgical tools in their stomach. They have no idea because there is no nerve endings. Now, when those things are developed to such a magnitude that you feel something, even when there is no nerve ending, usually it's too late. And this is why you want to have early detection, do whatever you want to do to eliminate that. That's more dangerous, the fact that there is a buildup of acid, you don't know. So if you're always drinking alkaline water, then that's the insurance. Even if there is one, you will get rid of it.
I just went to a guy in Leonard's Head in naturopath, and he does live blood analysis. And I got to see in my blood a big acid crystal. I was going through it, and Mum's had like a ball of string with acid, a big acid crystal with just his arms going throughout the whole blood cells and stuff. And then after, doing a diet, an anti-candida diet for 3 weeks in Young they went back and acid was gone and stuff. But that would be a way for people to have a look at their own blood and drink alkaline water and then have a look and see.
Great.
Because after you see it on the screen, you got to do something about it. Like, my mum's blood is just a nightmare. So when she had a look, she said if she got told that and never got to see it, she wouldn't have.
I'm glad you've had the means to look at it.
Yeah.
If what you don't know, they say what you don't know can't hurt you, but that's not true. That's not true. There are many. The research I have done is over like 14, 15 years. I'm trying to condense that in less than an hour. It's not a possible thing, but I will entertain some questions. And if you don't have questions, I have a few other subjects that I could cover. But right at this point, this is the